Hello. Welcome to the Daydreamers Club.
Hi guys, welcome back to episode 2 of the Daydreamers Club podcast.
Today we are going to be talking about the hot trending topic of quarantine. So yeah, we're very, very on trend, I feel.
Absolutely.
I've just been pretty much chilling and appreciating the alone time more than I thought I would.
And I'd have to relate, I'm definitely more introverted by nature and was homeschooled, and so I have spent a lot of time by myself. And for us introverts, we have been thriving. But at the same time, I know that it is really a kind of a grave situation for a lot of people. And just to preface that, I haven't personally lost anyone or anything like that. And just my heart goes out to you guys that have had those experiences. So sorry.
Especially the healthcare workers that are putting their lives in jeopardy. I've heard of
I
so many
know.
doctors that have passed away due to their efforts, and even a bus driver because they're essential workers. And I'm honestly so thankful for these people. And I high-key think
Me
that they should
too.
be getting hazard pay, but a lot of
Yes.
them aren't. And they're really sacrificing their lives, actually.
Yes.
So
yeah, thank you, essential workers. We love you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I wish everybody that is an essential worker could get a medal or something.
Absolutely.
It's a brave thing to do.
Yes.
Yikes. But yeah.
I completely relate. And one thing that we've been talking about is just keeping a learner's mentality through everything, because I know that quarantine has affected people differently based on how you already were emotionally doing, and now it's kind of amplified that. Yeah. And so we're definitely really sensitive to that, and we're just going to talk about our own experiences and what we've learned along the way. So I'd love to hear what you've learned, Winter, during this time.
I'm just honestly chilling. I think the most thing that I've learned is goodness. I'm definitely editing out this pause. I think the thing I've learned the most is that I'm actually a lot better at entertaining myself than I thought I was. And half of that might just be running around in my underwear talking in funny accents, but and some people could consider that crazy. But aren't we all deep down? So,
right.
Yeah, I'm really good at entertaining myself. And I didn't think I would be, because I've always thrived around people, and I grew up with a lot of siblings, so I was always around a lot of people, even though I was homeschooled as well. And I just never really had a lot of quiet time growing up, just because my family's all extroverts. So we were always hanging out. And here it's just me and my man. So I've had a lot more quiet time, but I've actually really thrived, and it's been very reflective. And I'm actually just having the same existential crisis as usual, nothing too out of the ordinary.
So. Right. Oh no, me too. I think I go through an existential crisis once a month. So
once a month, girl, I'm talking about every time I wake up in the morning, because especially I had these crazy dreams. I wake up, I'm like, do I exist? Is this real life? Am I dreaming?
That's true. You do have vivid dreams. You do have really vivid dreams, so that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, talking about crazy, but
No, I'm proud of you. I mean, I'm proud that you have been really just comfortable existing in your own space, and that says a lot about just your personal growth and being comfortable being around yourself and just living authentically with yourself already. And I think that's why it hasn't really been some emotional epiphany for you, is because you're already living authentically, and I love that. So incredible job.
Yeah, thank you. That's kind of true. I think that so much of our reality is distraction.
Yes.
And being in quarantine, we're forced to realize that, we're forced to take all the distraction out of our life and just sit there with ourselves and our family, or the people closest to us. And I think that's, even though it's scary and dreadful to many people, it's also a huge pro, because
yes,
we're forced to grow. We actually have to. It's no option anymore.
Right. I think that some people still are kind of deciding not to grow, of course, but I think it has been a huge opportunity, I know, for me to really take a step back, because over the last, since my adulthood, basically, I've kind of neglected those areas of my life that are more creative and like more just for me because of work. Like, I'm kind of a workaholic sometimes, and I know it's annoying to myself. And so,
but you are a hard worker.
Thank you. And you too, girl. I mean, you've been through that too, like working multiple jobs and shit.
I've been through it, but now I just like lay in the grass. So
yeah, which is great. And so it's definitely been a more of an emotional experience for me. I mean, I feel like I've been rediscovering myself outside of work or just being home, even like working from home and stuff like that. And really understanding like the importance of taking time to know what your feelings are and take inventory of your life. Take inventory of like, how am I doing? Yes. Like, how am I doing spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically? Like, how am I doing in each area? And so, just taking time to journal and really get to know, like, who am I outside of what other people think that I am?
So true.
I
really
tend
good
to
at journaling.
Thank you.
It's
fun.
So is our
I
follower
think on paper.
on Instagram, Melissa.
That's
what she said she's been doing during quarantine, right?
Yes. Journaling, reading, hiking.
All the fun stuff. Focusing on herself.
Yes. I'm so proud of her. Totally. And just creating that mental space, that space to like have time to think, I think is huge. And so even just taking time to uncover like those past things in your life that are really, really difficult to think about, traumas that you've been through or whatever it might be, and literally just letting yourself feel them and figuring out what to do. And for me, running immediately to prayer and being like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, get it off my chest is humongous, like makes a huge difference for me. And so just being a person that really struggles with anxiety a lot of the time, I think that really getting to know, okay, outside of what other people think I am and however they perceive me to be, I'm reminding myself of who that person was before all those things started affecting my life, and those other people's opinions started being just poured on me,
Yeah, that's true. Because you're finally separated from all of the other perspectives and you're just alone with your own. That's amazing. I haven't even thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's been huge.
I hope a lot of people are experiencing the liberation of that. Like, because that is truly a liberating thing.
It is.
I see all the people, obviously we've seen all the protests of people upset about the quarantine and they're like, I want the freedom to get my hair cut or whatever they're saying. And not necessarily throwing shade, but like maybe. But anyway.
There's definitely different perspectives and different
exactly.
sides.
There's different perspectives and nobody's more valid than somebody else, that's theirs. But I also think, sure, that's one form of freedom, but a lot of the time in society, our freedom to actually exist within our own unique perspective and not have the agendas of other people and messages and advertisements and other things being put upon us, that's a new freedom in a way that we get to finally experience. And I think that is a truly important and undervalued freedom. Because,
absolutely.
Yeah, like your strength in yourself, what more could you, like, that's what you need to, like, survive. I don't know.
I think this is incredibly important as a society to take a step back and reprioritize and understand, like, how are you doing? Like, how are you doing emotionally? What's going on with you? Because you within society is society. Like the inner self of each person is what makes the whole of society. And so understanding, okay, if I'm hurting, by default, our whole country, our whole society is hurting. So really scaling that down. Yes, but I think people don't understand actually how actually vital it is to really be doing okay, because that affects everything, and you matter, your feelings matter, what you're going through is so important, not only just for you, even though I want you to have all of the internal freedom that you possibly can, but also for the people you're around, because you transfer your thoughts to them, and that's like what makes your society.
Yeah, and you can do that on so many levels. Like if we look at physics, right?
Yeah.
Everything, every particle is always trying to reach equilibrium. So that's why when you pour hot water into cold water, it becomes lukewarm. It reaches equilibrium. Like we know this basic concept from 7th grade. So yeah, so that's the same thing in society. When you are operating in a certain, I don't know what you want to call it, a vibe, a frequency, a mood, an emotion.
How you're feeling, yeah.
Yeah. Now everything else that either can raise or lower the overall atmosphere, and everybody else will be affected by it in that way. And people think, oh, I'm just, one little man, one little woman. Like, what is the difference? Do I matter in this grand universe? And it's like, that's the reassuring and beautiful thing, is like, everything matters in this grand universe, and everything is a microcosm of itself and a macrocosm of itself. And it's just this pattern that repeats itself. And you can think like, well, what about the rocks floating through space? Do they think that they have like a big purpose? No, until one hits a planet like Earth,
right?
An entire generation of dinosaurs that then gives way to humans existing, and an entire change for the whole planet. And that little rock was just a rock, but it made it rocked the world, so to speak.
I feel like every person is. No, that was really amazing. Dad jokes.
Dad jokes for life.
Yes. No, I think you're really right. And I think it's been huge for me, because I've gotten a chance to step back and say, okay, who am I creatively? Because that's a big part of who I am, and was always who I was as like a kid, always like creating and drawing and stuff like that. And
you're so gifted.
But it's like, whatever it is for you, that you're like, this brings me joy, and this like self-expression is who I am in your core, is important. And so for me, I have totally loved just not being perfectionistic with my art. Like I always was so perfectionistic with my paintings and stuff like that, because I wanted it to look perfect. But instead, I found out that my style is way more abstract than I really thought it was.
Super.
And
it's beautiful.
Yes, thank you. But it's
and that
like,
makes it perfect in a different way. Like there's different types of perfect.
Right. It's just for myself, and it's really just channeling what I'm feeling and what I feel like is happening. And so taking the critic off, like taking your critical voice and throwing it away when you're making stuff. And so I've loved the extra mental space, and I definitely miss my friends and family so much. I only have like a few friends here in Seattle so far, but I'm so grateful for technology. I miss you.
I miss you
I miss
too.
you so much. Like I just want to hug you. And I also miss thrift shopping. So
oh my goodness.
Probably the two big things.
Especially right now when you're like alone at home and all you're doing is looking at Pinterest or blogs, fashion blogs and stuff. And you're like, I want to redesign my aesthetic. But then you can't go to the thrift store. And it just stinks.
What you going to do? Shop on Shein, I guess. That's what I've done.
The thing is, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
It's cheap.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But it's not vintage.
We can get into human not being paid right in other countries.
I don't like that either.
In another episode of this, but fast fashion doesn't sit well with my soul.
That's completely understandable, but yeah,
it's a really complicated world. Speaking of the butterfly effect, we can't think of the repercussions of all of our actions. We can never possibly visualize that. We're not four-dimensional creatures to be able to live outside of time in order to understand things that way.
Exactly. So tell me about the little things that you've been finding more appreciation for, just the small things in life that you liked.
Grass.
Yeah.
Like hay fever? Laying in the grass. No, I actually used to have allergies and I don't anymore. So I don't know how that happened. But
you moved.
No, I had them when I was a little kid and they stopped when I still lived in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have allergies anymore. So I'm able to enjoy the grass, and we have a yard that I used to never sit in, and I sit in there all day long now. So it's a whole new world.
It's the little things.
It is.
It really is. I've enjoyed just waking up when I want to, because my work isn't like as structured anymore.
I know. Yeah. You wake at like 5 a.m.
and I still like to do that, but I don't as much.
Yeah, but You're hardcore. There would be times where you didn't go to bed until after midnight and still wake up early.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
hard.
even know how. I remember there, like when you lived here and we'd hang out, it's so late. I always felt so bad. I don't know how you did.
No, it was fun.
I would
But
fall
I've
asleep at work.
Oh, I did all the time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, well that makes more sense.
For like 10 seconds.
You know, that's
Yeah.
probably a good thing then now with quarantine. I bet a lot of people are more well rested because you don't have to commute
Yes.
in traffic. You don't have to get all ready. You know, as we've seen, those people in the suits like on the top and then their undies on the bottom.
Yeah.
So they're just chilling.
I love quarantine fashion. I hope it never goes away. Sweatpants
Same.
for the win.
What
I love
are
it.
jeans? What are they?
Don't
I
know
don't know
anymore.
them.
Forgot.
I don't
Burned
know
them.
jeans. I don't know her. Like,
Right? No thanks.
bras? Who?
Oh, I haven't worn a bra in weeks, dude.
No,
I don't.
thank you. I actually read a thing that says your boobs will actually maintain their elasticity if you don't wear bras.
I've heard both actually, and I have no idea what to believe.
Same. But
Yeah.
it's like a newer study. They're always coming out with new
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
So I don't
Well,
really know, but who knows?
I'm really happy that you've
man?
had more time to be with your man too, and just like the quality time
Oh, and I'm so
is
glad
so
you had time to
important.
be with yours. I know
Thank you.
you're in the long distance relationship, so usually when you guys hang out, you don't always get to be together for like
Right.
just each other. You're usually doing stuff, but you said you got to finally.
Yeah, it was honestly the best time that we've had together since we've been dating over 2 years now, and we see each other every few months. Yeah, it was so wonderful to have quality time together. Like we'd work together, we'd hang out all the time, and we're big quality time people. We're both very relaxed, and so it was like the best time that we've had. And we love our other times too. Like we've got to travel some really cool places and hang out with our friends and family, and we love that so much. But I think having that one-on-one time to really connect has been, well, very eye-opening for me. I learned a lot about just like for myself, like nothing to do with Christian, but just like
Really?
attachment style stuff that I was like,
yeah,
oh shit, I didn't realize. Yeah, like
that's
you're
cool.
who you are in relationships and like
Mhm.
what you're feeling. And I was like, oh shit, like I didn't realize that I get triggered by that or whatever. But really just like diving into your attachment style for your relationships. And I'm reading a book right now called The Power of Attachment to
awesome.
talk about just
the best books.
Thank you. I'm gonna make a list. So yeah, it was awesome.
That is so neat. I think that's the thing. We're learning so much more about ourselves in this time. I think that's so beautiful. And I think that's the journey of life really, is to learn about how your experience is and who you are, and how to actualize yourself and create.
To know yourself.
Yeah,
you have to know yourself to grow yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Good quote.
Amen, girl. Quote of the day. Post that on our Instagram. By the way, we have daily questions on our Instagram, so make sure you guys
daily journal prompts.
Woo, they're on our story. They're awesome. Addie makes some visually appealing visuals. Sorry for the redundancy, but they're awesome.
Yeah, definitely join along, and we want to hear about your guys' experiences.
Really
and
do.
Just make a space for you to be honest, because I think there's been highs and lows for everyone. Like we're talking about the things that we learned most because we want you to feel like even if you go through a really hard situation, what did I learn from it? You know, for example, heroes in the old myths, they are the ones that felt unprepared, the ones that felt like they did not know what they were doing, that went through incredible loss and challenges, but they decided to rise up and learn and get better. And so we want you guys to feel like you have the empowerment to do that and to just take time and be like, how am I feeling? What am I learning? Because if you're learning, I think you're happy if you're learning. That's how it is for me, because you're engaged and you're like progression, not perfection, you know?
Yes.
So we want you guys to, but also be honest. Like if you're having a hard time, you know, tell us so we can give you a virtual hug.
Literally. That's what we're here for. We're here to encourage you on your journey.
And yes. Wherever you're at is okay.
Exactly. To reassure you of that, to give you encouragement, to give you love, because you are so worthy and you are so loved and we love you. Sure, you can say, oh, you don't even know me, but like just the fact that you exist, we love you, okay?
Yes, absolutely. And we want you to know that you matter. Every single thought that you have is
Valid,
so impactful
important.
and so
Yes.
valuable.
Yes.
And even if you're going through something hard, we want you to have a community that understands you, but not to stay there. You know, we want to help encourage people to learn from it and try to move past those things, you know, in your own time.
Yes.
So we love you guys.
We do. We love you so much. Tune in every Thursday and Sunday for a new episode. We hope you have an amazing day. Until next time.
Thank you for being here. Love you guys. Mwah.
Goodbye.